Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Glad to have you. My name is Ann, and on my channel I review foreign international content. Today I'm back because it's Thursday, and if it's Thursday, it's Extraordinary Attorney Woo. And wow, this show is so fantastic. Oh my god. So the questions she asked was, I know Junho can take care of me and will love me and make me happy, but the question is, can I do the same? Meaning, can I make him happy? Or, which was a very interesting question she asked, which really showed a lot of self-awareness. She says, or will I make him lonely? Which, I don't know if you remember a couple episodes before, her dad said, raising her was very lonely because even when he was having a bad day, it's almost like she just would maybe did not know, or because of autism just didn't connect, right? So her fear is, what if I make him lonely? And obviously we saw with Attorney Jug's ex-wife who said, you know, he loved his work so much that I was very lonely, and obviously she is worried about the same thing. Also, to make things even more complicated is the fact that they went to visit Junho's sister, who was like, don't you want a girlfriend that's going to make you happy, not someone you have to take care of? To the point where she completely forbid him from telling their parents. Like, you cannot introduce her to our parents. You cannot let them know that you're dating her. Meaning, clearly in Korea, and I think, let's just not say Korea, all over the world, there's that stigma of like, you know, you dating or have a relationship with somebody who has a disability. Let's just say human beings are not so accepting when that's an issue. Now, the other thing too that I thought is interesting is the fact that now Junho is also realizing being with somebody who is disabled is not easy. Okay, it's not easy, in the fact that a couple of times, like during this section here, when she says, yeah, I don't think me and you should be together. And then she proceeds to talk about the case, and he is over here just heartbroken. It's almost like having autism makes you deal with empathy in a different way. Like, she was giving statistics to Attorney Jug, who was diagnosed with stomach cancer, and I was just like, no, he has to be healed, right? Here is fingers crossed that he will be okay. Because I was like, oh my God, my worst fear has come in the fact that he has been diagnosed with stomach cancer. So I guess when we saw him spitting that blood, it was bad. It was pretty bad, right? But anyway, I thought it was interesting that, you know, she's telling him statistics about, you know, Korea and stomach cancer and the survival rate being 5 years. And she's just saying it without any like inhibition or worry about anything that's going on. Like, you can tell that there's that disconnect. It doesn't mean she doesn't care. It's just that intuition or clue that most people would be like, I don't think this is the time to bring it up. I think because of her autism, she doesn't pick up on that cue. So that's why it was heartbreaking when he was like, did you just break up with me? And then you're gonna go on to talk about the case because now you have an idea about how to save that case. I was like, oh, and this is something that Junho is gonna have to put in mind, because of that's what it's going to mean when you date someone with a disability, is you're gonna have to know that those empathy or those cues may not always be there. It doesn't mean they don't care. It just means that it may not be the same than what you're normally used to. So I thought that was interesting. And so I'm like, oh my God, are they breaking up or are they gonna make it work? Here's to keeping fingers crossed they make it work. And if they don't, which I don't want to see that, I want them to make it. I hope they stay to be very good friends, right? Like, they need to be good friends, but I am hopeful that their love will work. They just need to have more communications. And I think the more they know each other, I think Junho can get to understand the intention and not that it's meant to hurt him, you know. So it'll be interesting to see what becomes of their relationship, but that was tough to watch, right? And then obviously, like I said, Attorney Jug being sick was also tough to watch. And, you know, he wanted these noodles, and that company that, you know, ran out of business. It goes to show, right? Like, some of these companies will come and try to steal your recipe, and obviously the older mamas and papas shop that made some of the best noodles. By the way, who also wanted a bowl of noodles? Those noodles looked so delicious. I was just like, I want a bowl. I wish I could find that bowl of noodles. It looked so good. But it was a really interesting topic in how, like, if you don't stay innovating, some people will come and take over. I mean, they even stole the noodles recipe. They stole the chef. It was just crazy. But I was glad that they were able to help that chef to tell him or educate him on his rights, right? It's very interesting because it made me think of, speaking of Netflix, anybody remember, especially here in the United States, do you remember the Blockbuster where we used to go rent movies and things like that? And I feel like Blockbuster should have been the ones who should have launched something like Netflix, but because they did not keep up with the times and the trend, I believe that's why that company went out. But they used to be so popular, they were huge. Every other corner, there was a Blockbuster where you could rent a movie. And I'm thinking, you should have been the one who should have come up with the idea of Netflix, but they did not. Which, for most people, if you have a business, you have to keep in trend, right? Like the lady said, the influencers, they're on trend, and that's how they were able to steal his business, because he couldn't keep up with them, and then they went to the media. So I thought that was interesting. And then this case they had to deal with, the idea of the road is going through, I guess there was like a heritage monks temple, so they own the land, but then this road was going through it, so they decide they're gonna keep charging people when they go through the road, even when they're not visiting the temple. And I was like, that is strange. On the other hand, I'm like, okay, it's your land. And it was interesting. I love that she always comes up with something. She was like, well, what we found out is you may own the land, but the road is a public property, so you cannot charge the money. I was like, ooh, you go, Yang Wo. And then, oh my gosh, Kwon. Okay, so the last couple episodes, they make us hate him, and I was just like, you snake, you snitch, snake, snake. And then these two last episodes, he was a sweetheart. I'm like, why are you messing around with our hearts? The same thing, Attorney Choi was like, what's up with you? All of a sudden, you're nice, you're saying nice things, you're being kind. Like, what happened to you? That being said, though, I am glad that they're giving us a reason as to why he's such a douche. So we found out that the reason why he really, really needs the job is because he has to take care of his sick parents, right? He was comparing Attorney Choi and saying, your dad is the justice, you know, and you are a princess. Not me, okay? Me, I have to take care of my parents and they're sick. I am almost like their meal ticket, and I have to pay for medical bills. And that would explain why he's so motivated to make sure he earns a position at this firm, or the firm that Taesumi, Yang Wo's mom, is working at. To him, he just needs a job and he needs money. So that's why it's made him into this mean, bad person. But I always was hopeful that he would end up being a good guy, and it seems like these last two episodes, he's kind of redeemed himself. I'm kind of having a soft place for Attorney Kwon, but last week I could not stand the dude. I was just like, woo, what is wrong with you? And then we saw at the end of episode 14, clearly the CEO of the firm is the one who wants revenge after Yang Wo's mother, Taesumi, because she was like, yep, I'm gonna have you write an article and I want you to release it right before her interview, so she won't have time to like clean it up or explain it, right? So I'm like, why is she the one who's going for the revenge? If anybody has the right to revenge, it would be Yang Wo and her dad, right? But maybe she's been there this whole time and have seen how the dad struggled, and now that the mother, who really doesn't care about Yang Wo, then maybe she's like, oh, so now you're gonna become justice and I'm supposed to just sit here and watch you? And she probably is like, nope, I'm gonna let everybody know what kind of person you are, I guess. yeah, I'm not sure why she's the one who's really going after the mom more than the father. But oh, fantastic. Okay, we got 2 more episodes and it's over, and I am sad. I'm like, I don't want this show to end. It cannot end. I mean, I would be up for season 2, but somebody said in the comment, like, think about how much work that is for Park Yoo-bin, because this acting is not easy, right? So to do a season 2 would be like, woo, a lot of work. But maybe if the pay is great, who's to say she won't do it? Or because this is gonna be a classic. She is winning Best Actress for the year. I don't want to hear anybody else. I have not seen anybody do this work this year anyway. So maybe because this show is gonna be a classic, this show is gonna win a lot of awards. I'm just saying it right now. I'm predicting it. It will. So maybe we'll get a season 2, but we only have 2 more episodes and it's over. Oh, I have loved this show so much. I love everything from the acting, the script, the production has just been fantastic. The chemistries between all the actors has been just fantastic. So let me know down below, what do you think? Do you think Junho and Park Yoo-bin are gonna stay a couple, or do you think they end up breaking up because it's too hard? What do you think? And then are we all keeping our fingers crossed that Attorney Jug does not die? They cannot kill him, and him dying from cancer. We know cancer is tough, but here's to hoping for healing, right? Oh, anyway, as usual, thank you so much for joining me. Give me a like. If you do like my video, subscribe. It does help to support my channel. And I'll see you next time. Deuces.